In this video, we are going to cover part 2 of underwriting when it comes to your high cash value life insurance policy. The last video, we covered quite a bit during the initial underwriting process. Now, after the process is complete, we receive a medical approval. The most common health classes are ultra preferred, regular preferred, and then non-smoker. These will have different names with different companies. With ultra preferred, sometimes you'll see super preferred, preferred plus. We'll always let you know, ultra preferred, this is the top class. Regular preferred, this is a great rating, second best class. Non-smoker, this is what about 85% of people receive when it comes to life insurance products. Now I want to add something here because everyone always wants the best class rating, ultra preferred, which I do too. But with that said, if you were purchasing a life insurance policy for $1 million, and you said, what is the premium, Steve, or IBC Global? You would see that premium adjust based on your health rating. Ultra preferred might carry a $10,000 minimum premium, whereas a non-smoker rating might carry a $12,000 annual premium. Meaning because I'm a little bit less healthy, I'm a little bit unhealthy compared to the ultra preferred individual, I have to pay more. The company feels that I'm a greater risk, I may die earlier than that ultra preferred person. Now with that said, if your goal is maximum cash value, it's a bit different. What you'll find here is regardless of the health rating, we can design a policy where we still have a 10% premium, or whatever the minimum is, if that's what you want, and a 90% PUA allocation, regardless of the health rating. Now, there is a difference with the health rating. To be specific here, is if you're paying in any amount of money per year, and we look at the net cash value performance over time. With ultra preferred, if we had a 5% internal rate of return, that was the net growth rate with an ultra preferred rating. Here's where you would see the difference. With a regular preferred rating, you might see it come out to about 4.9%. And then with a non-smoker rating, you might see about 4.8 to 4.85%. So there is a difference with health ratings when we study the actual cash value performance, but it is not as drastic as one would think. If you are a smoker and use tobacco or nicotine on a regular basis, that will have an impact and drag the cash value performance down quite a bit. Now here's what I want to add, and this will lead into the next section as well, where we see rated if we receive a table rating. But let's, before we go there, assume that you receive a non-smoker rating. Maybe it's a tobacco rating. Things aren't good. You start the policy because you want to start it, you don't want to lose time. With life insurance policies, I'll give you a story here. Years ago, I had an individual who started at age 30. He received a standard non-smoker rating. Okay. He received this because he was a little overweight. That's all. No real health issues. He was just heavy. Years later, gets into running, fit now. He said, hey, when I applied for that policy, I got a non-smoker rating. I'm like, I'm fit now. Is there anything I can do? The answer is yes. So with any policy, we can apply, this is really neat, a lot of people aren't aware of this, for an upgrade in health rating. And what this entails, or what it involves, is going through a medical exam, applying for the actual upgrade. We have to fill out paperwork, or we fill it out, you have to sign off on it. The insurance company and underwriter re-review the file. They may want to do some of the stuff we looked at in the last video, order medical records and such, but if they see, hey, this individual had a non-smoker rating before, but now he's healthy, maybe he was smoking before and he quit. What happened, going back to this story, several years later, he was bumped to ultra preferred. And what happened in this case, a lot of companies do this, is they actually go back to day one of the policy when he was 31, even though when he applied for this upgrade, I think he was like 34 or something like that. They go back to day one and reprice the premium. The cash value is bumped. Everything is repriced back to the original policy date. So now he's literally lost no time, which is really nice. So you always have that option as well. And just about every insurance company offers that. The ones we work with heavily do at least. So let's continue on here. Let's assume you receive a rated policy. So what this would mean is you receive a table rating. And there are 16 different classes here. And some companies will use, instead of numbers, letters of the alphabet. So for example, I could have a class 2 rating. The equivalent would be a table B or class B rating. It means the same thing with different companies. And what it involves is the actual insurance expenses, the internal expenses, being higher than what a standard non-smoker rated policy would be. To demonstrate this is if I had a table B, which would be a class 2 rating, that results in the cost for life insurance being approximately 50% higher than what I would experience in a standard non-smoker rated policy. It's not good. It can negatively impact the policy performance. When this happens is if I have a health issue or several minor health issues that the company looks at and says, okay, we definitely feel that there's some additional risk here. An example could be, maybe I conquered cancer and I overcame it 5 years ago. Maybe it was 6 years ago. And after 5 years, the survival rate goes up, but I had a really nasty type of cancer. I overcame it, I beat it, but I'm still close to that 5-year window. The company says, okay, we'll take on the risk because this person beat it, but at the same time, based on our experience and how we've seen cancer come back, for now, we'd like to assess a table rating. However, I can't apply for that upgrade in the future, or they'll often let us know, hey, right now we're not comfortable with the risk. However, in 1 year or in 3 years, we would consider a standard non-smoker rating. So they are typically upfront with us, and of course, we let you know this as well. Now let's assume that you received a table B rating, or maybe you received an extra charge. So an extra charge, this can come from a lifestyle that an underwriter views as something not that safe. Example, you are a motorcycle racer, you're going 200 miles per hour once a week or once a month around the most dangerous track in the world because you get a thrill out of it. An underwriter is going to say, okay, this person has a higher risk than someone who does not do this, so we're going to assess an additional charge on the policy. If you are frequently skydiving, jumping off of cliffs, maybe it's scuba diving very deep, there are activities that companies view as a higher risk, and they may assess an additional charge with a policy, which can really hinder the performance. Now, if that happens, before we just say, hey, the policy's rated, it is what it is, we do like to go back and forth and really work with the insurance company, our contacts, the underwriter, to ensure you get the best possible rating. Here's what's involved. Some companies, not all companies, but some, have table shave programs. For example, not many companies have this anymore. Some of the major mutuals do. One example is Guardian. Depending on the health rating, so it's not automatic, but if I have a class 4, which would be a table D or better, so anywhere from class 1 to class 4, in many instances, they'll say, okay, this qualifies for our table shave program. This person, we're going to improve the rating to non-smoker, standard non-smoker, for whole life only. Typically, they won't do this for term or universal life insurance. And Mass Mutual has a program where they will actually bump the rating as well in a couple cases. So it's nice to have that option if the insurance company you are applying for offers it. Only the top companies in the industry, what I've seen from experience, top companies in the industry that have a history with it and are large enough, just from a carrier standpoint, can actually offer this. But it is a very nice option for someone that might receive a poor rating with one company, and then they can get a solid major mutual company with this table shave program, and now they've got a non-smoker rated policy. If that is not an option, then what do we do? Well, another case, a lot of people, including agents, are not aware of this. Reinsurance is available. This involves going to multiple insurance companies to collectively pool the risk to try and improve the health rating. Example, you have a policy, you're applying for a policy with Mass Mutual, okay? So you're applying for Mass Mutual, and you get a table C. So not a favorable rating. And there's nothing we can do with any type of table shave or anything like that. We can try reinsurance, which may add some restrictions to the policy. Depends on our age, the company, a couple other factors. But what this does is Mass Mutual works with other carriers where they collectively take on the risk. Your policy is still with Mass Mutual, not with a number of other carriers. So it's still that Mass Mutual policy. But many times, we've been able to bump the health rating to non-smoker in a case like this, which is a beautiful feature, just having awareness on that point. Now, you do not always need to be aware of that. We're aware of it on our end, but if we're running into a situation, rest assured, we're going to do everything we can to really push it through. If we're declined, we can also try reinsurance. Now, if we're declined for a reason that we feel is wrong, the last step is we can challenge a health rating. And an example of this, let's say, take myself for example. I run every day, try and stay as healthy as possible. Let's say I take out a policy, I go through a medical exam, and in the lab results, my sugar levels are way off. The company says, okay, this person is going to die tomorrow, decline. I get declined. I'm like, wait a minute, I run every single day. I'm as healthy as can be. I just went to my doctor a year ago. My sugar levels were fine. Something's got to be off here. Like, what's going on? This stuff happens in the industry. Well, what I did not disclose, or what I forgot, because I forget things all the time, was the fact that I had a peanut butter and jelly sandwich 15 minutes before my medical exam. That's what threw my sugar levels off. So the underwriter did not know that I had that sandwich before my medical exam. They just saw the results and said, whoa, red flag, we're not approving this guy. So if we have a case where we were declined and we don't know the reason why, you don't know the reason why, we'll ask a number of questions, but maybe we have to go through another medical exam. Maybe we need a note or letter from your doctor stating, hey, in the medical records, a condition was disclosed or a situation was disclosed that the person was not healthy. However, they have conducted follow-up. Your doctor provides a signed letter. We send that to the underwriter to give them really peace of mind that you're healthy. Those type of situations also give the underwriter assurance where they say, okay, this person, we thought they weren't healthy. They are. Now all of a sudden we're going to give them an approval. Remember a couple years ago, there was a guy, he was in the military. He received a non-smoker rating because his labs are off. Now, he was dehydrated because they were going through intense training at the time. But when he took that medical exam, his labs were off. He said, this isn't right. Like, I know things are off. I keep myself as fit as I can possibly be. So we said, okay, like what happened then? He explained the situation where he's dehydrated. So what we were able to do is get a letter from his doctor explaining at this point in time, when the exam was conducted, he went through intense training. What he did as a means of additional follow-up was take another medical exam with his doctor. His doctor provided the lab results. We sent that to the insurance company. And then what happened is he had a non-smoker rating. We're able to bump it up to ultra preferred. So the little things like that are important. And again, for full transparency, our company will work with you on that. And we're always doing everything we can on the back end for when we don't receive a favorable rating, like one of these three classes, or maybe we get non-smoker and we know, hey, this person should be preferred or ultra preferred, we're gonna question them, and we may come back to you with questions as well. But first, we wanna see if we can improve the rating today, and if it's not an option, we will let you know how you can improve it tomorrow or at some point down the road. So, hope you enjoyed this one. After this, or the next video I should say, we're going into reviewing additional options once you are approved. Hope this helps. Talk to you soon.